get off to a start right now. You've got 3 guys out there that have not played. You want to get off to a start here if you can.
Keba Jai and Armando Bacot get us going. A.J. Desai, Jamie Lucky, Paul Zell's on the whistle tonight here in Chapel Hill. Here's the likely ACC Rookie of the Year to start the possession with Marcus Burton.
And playing against the likely ACC Player of the Year, R.J. Davis. A great matchup to see these 2 guys going at it.
Tae Davis strong to the basket. Dewey Farris defended.
They isolated too on the first-time player and missed the layup.
Here's R.J. Davis. You see the lineup for the Tar Heels. R.J. Davis is good.
WD. Now you know I'm colorblind, but I was told that the pink shoes that R.J. Davis is wearing are the same shoes that he's had on this floor when he scored 36 for a career high against Wake Forest, and then of course 42 the last time. So we may see some magic off to a great start here.
Keba Jai, the Notre Dame lineup. This is the way it's been the last 7 games. The freshman Booth in there. That's Tae Davis, who was incredible in the second half. Saturday at South Bend in the victory against Clemson. Braden Shrewsbury jump shot bounds away. Remember, R.J. Davis, the principal ball handler here. And now you see Cadeau, Ingram, and Ryan work their way to the table for Hubert Davis as Bacot sails one over the head of Creighton Lebo. That'll get a Carolina turnover, and the 3 Tar Heels will sub out. And you cannot say enough about 47-year-old Micah Shrewsbury in year 1 at South Bend, Coach.
He's brought this team back from way down to win 5 of 6, and they could have easily won in Syracuse too. So unbelievable job with freshmen and sophomores in the lineup. That's hard to do.
In my opinion, Micah Shrewsbury is the runner-up for ACC Coach of the Year. By the way, Hubert Davis, in my opinion, is in 3rd place for that running. But we'll get to those awards a little later in our show. But both these guys have had great years on the sideline.
Burton spinning through traffic and scores. That's what Marcus Burton does as well as anybody in the league.
He's 5'6", and he doesn't play like it. He gets in the lane and scores in the lane.
I want the Burton family to know that that was Jim Boeheim who called their son 5'6".
Okay. All right, I might have been off.
But he, by the way, listed at 5'11", has been on a tear. Here's his last 3, Coach. 27 points at 31 against Wake. Doubled down, had a terrific game against Clemson. He's had 22 straight double-figure games. Last 9, he's had at least 16.
He's playing great basketball. There's no question about it.
I believe that's how he solidified the ACC Rookie of the Year, what he's done over the past 6 games.
Burton to the ground. Cadeau took it away. Turnover by the Irish after 2 in a row by Carolina. Tar Heels in transition. Lob for Bacot. Couldn't finish it, but made the catch. Back for Cadeau. The easy layup bounced out. Elliott takes home his own miss.
How about Cadeau padding his own stats, going Moses Malone style, getting the offensive rebound and the putback for the bucket.
And he's about 5'9" also, I think. But he got up on that one. He got at least up a couple inches.
Kerry Booth to Keba Jai. Irish talked about being patient with a purpose here today. Shrewsbury, young freshman's really kind of come into his own here in the last half-dozen games as well. Burton, a step through, 5 to shoot. Here's Davis on the drive. Ingram kept it from him. Davis resets, flipped it up, wouldn't go, and now whistling a foul. And Paul Zell's from underneath has Bacot for his first, and our first foul of the ball game.
Well, the one thing you want to know is that Notre Dame's hanging. It's obviously they are not off to the start quite they wanted, but they're in the game early. That's important.
Corey, Micah Shrewsbury talks about, let's see if teams will get muddy with us, right? So when we say patient with a purpose, you don't want to create 94 feet here in this building against this team tonight you're playing.
Well, no, you absolutely do not if you're Notre Dame, because you're playing into the hands of what North Carolina's strength is. But when he talks about teams playing in the mud with them, they want to slow Carolina down. The biggest thing for Micah Shrewsbury in this game is making sure that they keep Carolina out of transition where they're so dangerous.
All right, here's a look. Carolina, you see, top of the chart on offense. Notre Dame, Micah Shrewsbury, let's get muddy. Let's see if we can slow it down, bog it down, keep it under 70. Coach, how hard is that to do?
It's hard to do that here. You want to try to do that, but Carolina's not going to let you do that.
WD, Micah Shrewsbury talked to us in shoot-around about making sure they got off to a good start. He said they didn't have to get out 8-0,
right,
but they need to make sure it was 6-6 in comparison to being Carolina up big.
Ryan from the front.
You can't leave him open there. There was nobody there. He's going to make those shots.
He was just 2 of his last 12 from 3 in the last 2 games coming in. And there's a foul off the ball on Jai. That'll be his first sophomore transfer and the first on Notre Dame here.
And how about the motivation that Cormac Ryan has here this evening, playing against his former team, former school. So if Cormac Ryan has a turnover throwing it to the Irish today, you have to forgive him for that.
There's Davis out of the corner, trying to add another one, cannot. Nice box out by Booth, touched by Ingram. It'll belong to Notre Dame. Irish are here. They're 2-8 on the road. They're 2-6 on the road in the ACC. They've lost 5 of their last 6 in terms of road games. But still 12 wins, 7 in league play is far more than most projected when we began the campaign.
And that's why I feel like Michael Shrewsbury's done such a tremendous job. But more importantly, they lost 7 straight games before winning 5 out of their last 6. To be able to keep your team's morale up, Coach, that has to be extremely difficult with such young guys.
With young guys, that's really hard to do. And he's done it. Coach Shrewsbury's done an unbelievable job keeping them in there and winning against good people and playing good basketball, and they've improved their offense. That's what they've done. However, here, Carolina's defense has been so much better this year.
Yep. Tar Heels have kind of rebounded maybe after a lull a couple weeks ago, Corey, at that end of the floor.
I believe so, WD. They got refocused and they had the bye week. Hubert Davis had a full week to really get back to basics with the way they wanted to play. And it showed up in the Virginia game, and it's been consistent ever since.
Tar Heels play over the top. Cadeau tried to force a turnover. Enough to knock it into the Tar Heel bench. We're underway in Chapel Hill. Number 7 North Carolina was 7 on the board early. He breaks Kihei Clark's ACC record for games played tonight.
And WD, you notice Armando Bacot has a white jersey because he got the Carolina blue jersey last year on senior night before deciding to come back for a 5th year. And you see the 162 games played, which is an ACC record. But you can't do that without winning. Remember, 2 seasons ago, played in the national championship game.
Yep.
And you got to play a lot of games to break that record.
You know there's coaches worried that he's coming back.
Yes, I do. I do know their coach is worried. There is Jai. Good look by Shrewsbury for Kevin Jai's first basket, Jim.
That's great out of the huddle. Great play. Weak side cleared it out. Done.
Michael Shrewsbury, maybe some of his NBA pedigree paying off there, Corey.
It could be. Of course, spent a lot of time with Brad Stevens of the Boston Celtics as an assistant coach. And he uses a lot of his philosophies that he learned from that here in the college game.
Ingram will tee one up from the right. Bounds away. Bacot the rebound. Back up strong. Stripped out of there by Burton. He's 3rd in the league in steals. Number 1 in conference play. Here's Booth for 3. And that's tapped out by Bacot. Davis the other way. Cadeau. Here's Bacot. Carolina trying to find the weak side. This is Ingram just bullying on Booth, who did a nice job staying with it. And the pitch ahead, and Julian Roper on the floor turned it over in transition.
And that's really been the difference for Notre Dame as of late. They've handled the basketball so much better. That time turning it over when they had an opportunity to get a quick bucket.
Cadeau slashing. Ryan had a path into traffic against Roper and will draw the foul. A moment ago, we saw Ingram try to bully his way in there.
But a great job by Booth, standing his ground. You're talking about a younger guy who isn't as physical, isn't as strong, but that time, Booth standing his ground and using his length to deny Harrison Ingram at the rim.
Terry Booth, of course, is the son of Calvin Booth, the 2-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year and former NBA player.
And the thing with Notre Dame, these guys have all gotten better on both ends of the court this year.
Yep.
Ingram tried to bully it in there, and it wasn't happening. You know, it wasn't happening. That's not really his game. He's a spot-up guy, I think. But Notre Dame's doing a good job. Just keeping it kind of easy, trying to stay in the game.
1 out of 2 at the free throw line for Cormac Ryan. Already with a 3 in the bucket. Carolina a 3-point lead. Jalen Washington has come in. Give Bacot some bench minutes here. A couple minutes ahead of the under 12 timeout. Here's Burton's first 3 of the night. Long. And Davis clears, and Carolina 3-on-3. Washington trailing. Davis support.
So dangerous in transition, especially when he puts you on your heels. R.J. Davis underrated in his ability to get to the basket, but we know he's a lethal knockdown shooter.
On the drive is Burton. Deflected away, recovered against Trimble. Shrewsbury wrapping around, runner with the right hand rattles in.
The play that RJ made is a hard play to come full speed, stop, and shoot that medium range jump shot. He's really gotten better over his time.
Davis trying to stay out of Jai's pickup. There's Washington for three. Jalen Washington's 7th three of the year.
But that's the dimension that he can absolutely add to this North Carolina team. Has the ability to stretch it from beyond the three-point arc and came in with the reputation of a shooter out of high school. Gary, Indiana, by the way, the home of Michael Jackson, in case you didn't know.
Here's Jai. Washington at the post with him. Little up and under, and Booth taps it home.
Coach, you talk about how those freshmen have grown up. Booth, you see his maturity and the player that he is today in comparison to who he was on November the 10th when Notre Dame started playing.
So much difference. Give Notre Dame staff tremendous credit.
Look at Trey.
Seth getting tricky with it, WD.
And when North Carolina gets stuff off their bench from these guys, that raises them to another level.
Quick 6-point advantage. Carolina's hit their last 3 from the floor. Burton against Trimble, and what do we got here? Foul going to be on Trimble. Let's go back to the offensive end. Corey, please here.
Seth Trimble getting into his bag. The quick between the legs cross. We go to call it a tween, WD. Between the legs, tween. Seth Trimble getting in his bag is able to finish at the rim. And as Coach mentioned, when Hubert Davis is getting offensive production from his bench, this team goes to a different level because Seth Trimble is going to do the job defensively.
Different level.
So Cadeau and Trimble now on the floor with Jalen Withers, Jalen Washington, and Cormac Ryan. And here's Matt Zona, who shoots threes a lot, missing from out front. Washington trails. Now Withers. Boy, he's been a spark off the bench last couple of games, hasn't he?
He absolutely has. And this is a young man that's truly accepted his role.
Yep.
Transferring in from Louisville.
Burton, nice cross into traffic, spot up jumper good. Second field goal for Marcus Burton, Jim.
That's what he does better than I think people give him credit. He gets into that spot and he makes that shot really consistently.
We talk about guys that play fearless. He does that too. Here's Washington. It got blocked. Tae Davis in the mix down that. Front court, here's Roper. 4-point lead for Carolina. Notre Dame off the good defensive effort with the ball. Burton, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul here. And I think this is going to be on Withers, and that'll take us to break off Seth Trimble's action.
A move so nice, we had to see it twice. Seth Trimble with the tween cross for the easy lay here at UNC.
We want it all.
North Carolina and Duke. Tar Heels were 9-point winners on February the 3rd, gentlemen. And we'll renew that one. Duke won last night in Raleigh. Keep hope alive. Carolina, a win tonight, would have a chance to win the regular season outright, Corey. That's been a talking point for Hubert Davis. He believes that regular season championship is of value to how you perspective your team, if you will.
I believe it absolutely is. And Hubert Davis, of course, got that from his mentor, Dean Smith. But, Coach, how, in your opinion, how important is it to be the regular season ACC champion?
It's important. I mean, it is. There's no question. It's a great league. To win the league is a special thing. And, you know, it's an accomplishment. These things have all been devalued over the years,
right,
because there's so much emphasis on the NCAA tournament. So it is. He's right. It's important to win.
It's the first opportunity for Hubert Davis really to be at the top of the conference. He hasn't been there yet in his 3 seasons.
Here's Bacot strong against Zona, and Armando's on the board.
RJ was smart. He wanted to get Armando on the board. He was looking for him all the way.
That's what the smart point guards do, Coach. Great job by RJ Davis getting Armando involved and getting him a good look.
Burton all the way through. He'll leave it for Davis in the corner. Knocks down a high arcing three. Just the 6th three of the year for Tae Davis.
But that's been the difference for Notre Dame. Tae Davis's play over the last 6 games has been a difference maker. We talked about Burton, but they've gotten great production from Davis as well.
Bacot slips it for Trimble on the drive, and Armando now would tend to shoot against Matt Zona. He'll roll back, strong off the window. He'll draw the foul on the senior, Matt Zona. 3rd on the Irish, 1st on Zona. Quick reminder to you, this is just game 1 tonight. Game 2 in Winston-Salem. Boy, Joel Coliseum's become a house of horrors, hasn't it? Wake Forest is undefeated. Damon Stoudemire and Georgia Tech are there after a weekend victory against Florida State. Anish Shroff, Tom Crean standing by to bring your coverage at 9 o'clock tonight on ACC Network.
But remember Damon Stoudemire's press conference after being blown out at home by Wake Forest.
I do.
I'm sure that's something that he has talked to his team about a lot. And also, as you mentioned, Wake Forest is a tough place to play this season. Steve Forbes had those guys playing great at home.
They're night and day, home and away. It shouldn't be that big of a gap, but it seems to be this year with Wake and Virginia Tech and Virginia. It is a big gap.
Are you concerned after losses at Notre Dame and Virginia Tech for Forbes' Deacons when it comes Selection Sunday, Jim?
It'd be good for him to win the 2 home games, which I think he will.
Ingram thought about it from the corner off an offensive chance here for Carolina. Tar Heel lead 4. Look at Ingram to the right side. Can't finish. Knocked out. Paxton Wojcik on the floor. Draws the foul. I think that's Marcus Burton's first. And it is. 4th on the Irish in the half.
And one of the things we've seen, because of the number of the seniors starting that wouldn't normally be in the starting lineup, we've seen a number of different rotations already for North Carolina. Coach, you think that has anything to do with them maybe being a little bit off as of right now?
No, I don't think so. I think he's getting some guys in there, and I think it's a good thing. Notre Dame has not got a lot of players. They're going to wear on him a little bit.
Davis had it rattle out. Rebounded Logan Imes, the freshman, Zionsville, Indiana, who's scoreless in his last 3 ball games. Now out there, and Ingram, boy, he deflects a ton of basketball.
He absolutely does. Has great hands, great anticipation, but more importantly, defensively, he's sound and going for steals and deflections with the right hand, because when he doesn't get them, he's not out of position.
5 to shoot. Here's Burton taking Ingram on all the way down the paint. Scores.
That's just a big time play. This guy just gets better every time I see him. From the beginning to now, he just gets better and better.
5th best scorer in conference play at just under 18 a game is Marcus Burton. And Davis will draw the foul from Jai. That's 2 on the Irish sophomore. But how about another look at the fearless efforts of Marcus Burton, Jim?
I mean, he's going against a really good defensive player here, and he's got Bacot waiting for him under the basket, and it just doesn't faze him. He's going to go to the hoop. Judah Mintz does that a little bit for Syracuse. They're going to the hoop.
Jalen Lowe of Pitt's the same kind of guy, isn't he, Corey?
He absolutely is, but did you notice how somebody got a Syracuse mention in there? I was just wondering if anybody else was going to pick up on that.
Well, I have to say, Judah Mintz is a little underrated at this point of the season, I can tell you that.
Bacot missed the dunk. Ingram slapped it out. Wojcik gave effort. And now here's Burton, standing 3. And it dropped out on the right side.
Now, if anyone is a fan of the pull-up 3 on the break, it's me. But that was not the opportunity for it. I thought on a 2-on-1, he could have taken it to the rim, got an easy layup.
And they get a tie game. I mean, yeah, you gotta make that play.
How about this 3?
They come back with a 3. Now you're 5 down instead of 2. Those are the things that turn around ball games. When you're playing Carolina, you can't do that.
R.J. Davis, very quiet 7 here so far to lead Carolina.
This is what I love most about R.J. Davis this season especially. He's taking the challenge of guarding Marcus Burton, the best player for Notre Dame. He's accepting that challenge, doing it on both ends of the floor.
Look at Davis into traffic hard on the dribble. We get a foul before the shot.
Wow. No. Why not?
And it's going to be on, I believe, Cadeau. Elliot Cadeau, West Orange, New Jersey, his first. 4th on Carolina. You don't agree with the whistle here, huh?
This is my first
This is a stunner. We got a little surprise here.
I mean, he's all in emotion right there. I mean,
almost 12 minutes.
Yeah, we did good. We did really good. Almost 12 minutes.
This is a very good refereeing crew right here. These guys are all good.
That's how you qualify.
Yeah.
Everybody
then you just crush them.
Everybody misses a call. Everybody misses a call once in a while.
It has been. RJ the pick and the layup. 9 for Davis. And that is some kind of one-on-one matchup there.
It is a great matchup to see these two guys going at it. Presumptive ACC Rookie of the Year against the presumptive ACC Player of the Year. And it's been worth the watch already.
Go to timeout. RJ Davis has unlocked the game, Jim.
And this is just such a turnaround. They miss a 3. Now RJ comes back and hits a 3. So now he comes back down and steals. That makes a great steal.
From Carmichael Arena right here in Chapel Hill, coverage of the finals begins at 7 Eastern on Sunday right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Sean Kenny and Anthony Robles handle our coverage of a winter sports championship right here on your home of ACC championships, ACC Network. Women's basketball Allies Women's Basketball Championship starts tomorrow at Coliseum in Greensboro. Full coverage up until Sunday's championship game right here on ACC Network as well.
Going to be exciting action in Greensboro when you consider the ACC has to be at the top of the charts of conferences in women's basketball.
Yep.
It seems as though every team throughout the year had a number beside their name as far as the national ranking.
Here is Burton out of a timeout. Tae Davis with 5 to shoot. Back for Burton. He'll launch. And front rim miss that Ingram grabbed.
I think Burton was a little surprised to be that open on that one, Coach. A little defensive miscommunication.
Yeah, they missed a little bit. He still was off balance. It wasn't a good look. Carolina played good defense.
Ingram tees one up and hits. Largest lead of the night for the Heels on Harrison Ingram's first basket.
When he makes those shots and Ryan gets going, that's when Carolina's really good.
I'll go back to you guys mentioned bench contributions. We're seeing that tonight in the first half too.
Well, that's a lot because Harrison Ingram and Cormac Ryan and L.A. Cadeau all coming off the bench.
Yeah. You're right. Good point. Here's Shrewsbury. Braden can't buy one from distance. Nice recovery and stick back for Tae Davis.
And that's not a shot Braden Shrewsbury normally misses in ACC play. He's averaging 3 made field goals per game.
Ingram will draw the foul on the drive. And another look at Harrison Ingram, who is only he's a 40% three-point shooter.
If there were a Mr. Versatility award in the ACC, it would be 55 and white. He would absolutely be the guy to win that award.
He's been really good. He's really come on, and he gives them a little bit of everything.
Perfect fit.
Well, when he shoots it, he's really good.
Yeah,
absolutely perfect fit. And the main reason why he's a perfect fit is you look at the graphic, you see the 10.7 rebounds per game in ACC play. Had 19 rebounds at NC State. So one of the things you know about North Carolina, they always have an emphasis on rebounding the basketball. Offensively and defensively, he fit right in with that.
Little runner with a right hand for RJ Davis. 11 now for Davis on his 5th field goal.
But he's done all of his damage really in the paint. He's been attacking the basket, finding ways to get shots off without really having to run offense for him to get those looks.
And it's been great for him playing off the ball. That's the big thing this year. He's off the ball much better. They're much more comfortable.
Here is Davis driving. Bacot off the last slap. Here's Ryan with Ingram to his left. He'll dump it. Ingram will take off baseline. A little Euro in the right for the hoop.
Now this play, WD, Coach Bacot. This is the reason why Armando Bacot is on my first team All-ACC, because he does it defensively.
It's not because he grew up.
30-18, Carolina by 12. You were talking about Armando Bacot's defense a moment ago.
Well, we've talked about North Carolina's defense in the entire season. But when you consider why they've been so great, Coach Boeheim will tell you great defensive teams have great communication from their big men. And they have rim protection, they have shot blocking, and they have rebounding. Armando Bacot has supplied that for North Carolina this entire season.
And that's where they get out, and that's when they're really good.
Here's the drive, Shrewsbury the score. Braden's got 4 on a pair of field goals. Carolina now right back at him offensively.
That's the one thing you know when you're going to play against North Carolina. They're going to run on makes or misses. You have to be prepared to get your team back.
Boy, look at Burton, Corey.
Oh, he's tough as they get, WD. No question about it.
But he's above Bacot.
He doesn't have any problem mixing it up amongst the trees, and you see, even if he has mistakes, it doesn't stop him. He continues to put his head down and get to the paint.
Here's Imes, and this is Kerry Booth. You know he'll pull the trigger. Into traffic, fall away short against Bacot.
Good defense.
There was.
Say it again, Coach.
Defense.
Davis, runner, too strong. Bacot the rebound. Spins back through traffic, can't finish. Ryan tried to collect against his old team. Now Shrewsbury with Kerry Booth, and he can't finish. And Ingram somehow saves it.
Smart play by RJ, recognizing with Armando running the floor as hard as he has. Get him the basketball, give him an opportunity to get his hands on it.
Ingram foul line. Got it. 7 for Harrison Ingram. The lead is 12. Largest of the ball game for Carolina.
Mostly come from defense.
Imes. Irish need a bucket here. Imes out of the corner, and it runs out. Ryan races by Booth, tried to score, and it bounds away. Kerry Booth the foul. It'll be his first. It is 6 on the Irish.
Harrison Ingram, we talked about how he gets hands on the basketball. That time has great hands to save the basketball from going out of bounds, and then sprints the floor, finds himself in scoring position, knocks down the easy 17-footer at the top of the key.
4 for Cormac Ryan, the grad student from New York City. And the first one good. Ryan has had 6 games in the ACC where he's made at least 3 3-point field goals. He had 6, Corey, as you know, in the win at Virginia.
And led the Tar Heels in scoring in that game, scored 18 of their 54 points. But that's been the difference with this North Carolina team. We know what R.J. Davis can do. We know what Armando Bacot can do. However, the leading scorer against NC State on Saturday was Harrison Ingram. They've got so many different guys that can hurt you, but they all play so well together.
Yeah, Ingram had 22.
These guys are veteran players, too. Don't ever forget that.
Here's Burton against Washington. Bacot went to Coach Davis's bench a moment ago. 7 to shoot. Here's Shrewsbury. Quick pass inside. Roper up strong. Washington bothered it, and they scramble out of there. Here comes Ryan. Tar Heels trying to extend their lead now at 14. Look at Ingram. Variety of spins, carries him into the lane and scores.
Mismatch. He took advantage.
But he ran back, letting Cormac Ryan know that he's too small to guard me. Just gave the too small sign on the way back. He's like, hey, I can do this whenever I want.
9 for Ingram, and it's coming a flurry here. Burton on the drive, and a foul called. It's going to be on Jalen Washington. It'll be his first. It's 5 on the Tar Heels, but the lead is 16, and Harrison Ingram behind this, Corey.
WD going back to the basket, shooting the fadeaway, but more importantly, running down the floor, talking to his teammate. He's too small.
When you're great, your game does the talking. In the ACC, ours speaks volume. 3 of the last 8 NCAA championships. 99 NCAA tournament wins since 2015. 8 NCAA titles in the last 22 years. 6 of the top 30 winningest programs in Division I, most of any conference.
Burton takes this 3. He misses it. R.J. Davis comes down, knocks down the 3 ball, then gets a steal. It's been an 18-4 run from North Carolina ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it's confidence for a freshman to shoot that shot, but they have a 2-on-1. He makes a pass, they get a layup, it's tied. I mean, that's such a turnover when they turn around. When they go down and make the 3, I mean, it changed the whole complexion of the game. And, you know, when you're on the road, you're playing the team as good as North Carolina.
Right.
You can't have that kind of play. It's just hard to come back from.
Along the way, Carolina, for the 17th time in 19 ACC games, has built a lead of 10 or more points in the ballgame.
And they do it with their defense.
Yep.
You consider the fact that this team has been, especially in this building, they only have one blemish this year in this building, and that was a loss to a very good Clemson team here.
Right.
When they, after a big Duke win here.
Yep.
Now, this is one of the things that we've been not brought up yet, but many people look at this as a trap game, considering that with the Duke game coming up on Saturday at Duke, would they let their guard down here against Notre Dame?
I think the reason they wouldn't is they had time off, so they really were able to get ready for this game. And they're just making some shots now. When they make shots and play defense, which they've done all year, play defense, that's why they're in first place.
Washington's got 5, by the way. The lead has blossomed to 17. Notre Dame's gone better than 3 minutes without a field goal. Irish are just 1 of their last 7. There's Burton on the drive. Ryan blocked it.
So let me tell you the irony behind that play, WD. Cormac Ryan picks up Marcus Burton. You can see the jersey number on both these guys.
Yeah.
If Cormac Ryan spends his 6th year at Notre Dame, Marcus Burton can't wear that jersey. You see what I'm saying? That's why there was so much violence in the block.
Oh, my goodness. You got my gear? Here's Shrewsbury.
You're wearing my uniform.
Yeah, you're wearing my number. 6 for Braden Shrewsbury. Here's R.J. Davis through traffic. That was sandwiched, and Davis is hurt. Look out. Down here's J.R. Konechny going hard to the basket. Zona squeezes through. He will score. They will stop play. R.J. Davis, I think, banged his elbow. Crowd wanted a foul called. The senior from White Plains, New York, got sandwiched on the drive here.
I think it was a good play. I think the guy makes a good play to get good position, makes the block. He just, when you block it like that, you go down hard.
Yep.
And he went down hard. And I don't think there's a foul there.
And you see one of the things with that, and again, it's just the basketball nuance. When you're going into traffic and you jump off of 1 foot, you cannot control the way you go down. You go up with 0 balance.
Right.
So when you go off of 1 foot and when you get knocked backwards, you're going to fall. How do you brace yourself? And on that possession, RJ puts his elbow down. That takes the brunt of the fall.
Davis being tended to by Carolina basketball athletic trainer Doug Halverson.
Good thing for RJ, it's his left elbow. Won't affect the trigger at all.
Ryan working against Konechny. Those are 2 guys familiar with one another, and Strickland fouled, and it's going to be on Zona, I believe. Are they going to call it? No, J.R. Konechny from South Bend, went to St. Joseph High School, his first. It's the 8th on Notre Dame. So free throws. And Cormac Ryan to the line for 1 and 1. He's got 6 in this first half. Well, they call it a 2-shot foul. So the Ally ACC women's basketball tournament tomorrow in Greensboro starts. Every matchup up until Sunday's title games right here on ACC Network. Coverage at 12:30 Eastern tomorrow with our terrific Nothing But Net coverage. Kelsey Ricks, Muffet McGraw, Kelly Gramlich, Ivory Latta will be there. And we'll be underway with the Ally Women's Tournament. And, of course, congratulations to Liz Kitley, who won the Player of the Year award for the 3rd time today. And to Felicia Leggett-Jack, who's done a marvelous job at Syracuse.
And also Notre Dame.
Yep, Hannah Hidalgo.
Hannah Hidalgo, Defensive Player of the Year and ACC Rookie of the Year. Especially will she be the National Rookie of the Year over Juju Watkins.
Look out, Roper missed the chippy. Notre Dame down 14 with 70 seconds to go first half. And Cadeau out front.
All right. I'm going all right there, Coach. You see all that open space on the right-hand side?
They're going to call the foul on the move by Bacot. It's his 2nd, 6th on Carolina. That'll bring Washington and R.J. Davis back into the lineup for Hubert Davis.
However, when you're standing at the top of the floor like that and you see only one other player on the right-hand side, you don't want to run that pick and roll going to your left. You want to blow the doors off of this guy in front of you. You can beat one guy. Either they help and you kick to your shooter or you get all the way to the rim for a layup.
Burton, and he's going to get ticketed with an offensive foul. 2nd on Marcus Burton, 9 now on the Irish.
As the coach would say, come on.
And once you see the left arm extend, that is going to be an offensive foul. Great job by Seth Trimble getting into legal guarding position. And of course, that's also a foul you have to sell. You're not going to get it.
He was also moving way before the elbow came out.
7 turnovers on Notre Dame with 20 to shoot. Here's Ryan scooping and scoring. 9 now for Ryan.
Dane Goodwin is now kicking the TV as he's watching this.
Yeah, he is.
Watching his former teammate go up against his alma mater. As well as Prentice Hub, that entire crew.
Rex Pfluger, throw him in there too.
You got Rex in there?
How about John Mooney? You want to get Mooney some run too?
Back, you want to go here? Jeez.
I remember Pfluger from the corner would wear you out. Here's Ingram in transition. Trimble, Davis. 3. Here's Trimble at the horn from 3. Nope, too strong, and that'll get us to the half. 16-point lead for Carolina here, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame gave them a fight, but there's just too many mistakes, too many transition.
Percent in the first half. Tar Heels the ball and this lead. Hines is back on the floor for the Irish to start the second half with Burton. Shrewsbury along with Jai and Kerry Booth. And there's Cormac Ryan into double figures.
Coach, how important is it when you draw up something in the halftime locker room to have that type of execution on the first play out?
And then you make the shot, which is even a lot better. But when Ryan and Ingram get going, and they both got 9, North Carolina's not going to get beat in this part.
Here's Hines looking on the bounce. Inside Jai against Booth. 2 big fellows bang away. Look at the left-hand turn. Too strong by Jai. And here is Cadeau. Trying to create a path all the way in, and no whistle. Brown thought they were going to get one. Here's Burton the other way against Davis, who reaches in and just stops traffic. Foul on R.J. Davis, his first, the first on the Tar Heels.
And this is a great play coming out at halftime. They got everything set up, throw it back, reverse it, wide open 3. And he can make those, and when he makes those, they're hard to beat.
Yep. Cormac Ryan to a dozen, just ahead of R.J. Davis, and there is a foul on Cadeau for a hold. Second on the freshman.
Carolina's physical now. They're gonna bang you this year. That's something a little different from what we've seen.
And that's the thing about good defensive teams. They are physical. Oftentimes they get called for those fouls. However, then the old Gary Williams fashion, Coach, if you foul on every play, they can't call all of them.
Gary'd be mad if you said that. That's a Georgetown play.
Here's Davis, a long play. 14 for R.J. Davis. That's his second triple. Shrewsbury tries to answer. It bounds away. Who got the rebound? But Jai, and a foul on Bacot, trying to leverage him inside for his third, and the third on Carolina. But R.J. Davis is about Hubert Davis's lap here.
This is the spot where he hit the career high 36-point, and it's also the spot where he got over that with 39 against Miami. He loves that spot on the floor in front of his teammates, and who they love to celebrate every time R.J. does it.
That's the Caitlin Clark spot, who, by the way, is a great player.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think there's any question of that.
Minute and a half in. Here is Burton back for Shrewsbury. This lineup is familiar to Notre Dame fans. It starts here in the second half. This is the lineup Michael Shrewsbury went to bring Imes on the floor to essentially run the offense and let Burton be a little more free. And it also coincides with when Marcus Burton's progress really took off in his first season.
And the 5 out of 6 winning streak for Notre Dame, where they played so much better down the stretch. But the most important part of that is the fact that they had lost 7 straight games going into that. To be able to get a young team to respond that way, that is a great coaching job by Michael Shrewsbury and his staff.
Yep.
And that back down against Bacot is not going to work.
Yeah, that's a play they need to get rid of for tonight.
That is not working against the 6th year senior.
Nope, just 5. Just 5.
Come on,
Coach.
sure?
He's just been good for a really long time.
That ball got knocked away. Jai goes to the deck. Ingram's right there with him. Davis is there for the help. Possession will stay with the Irish. But unfortunately, Notre Dame's going to only have a half second to put a shot up.
Well, we talked about the defense of Armando Bacot, and that was an errant pass. That's not one that Jai is going to really be able to get to, but Bacot does a great job deflecting the pass and putting Notre Dame in a position where they only have a half a second on the shot clock.
In your mind, is he one of the leading candidates for Defensive Player of the Year in this league?
No, that race has been over. I do believe he's first team all defense in the ACC this year, though. I do believe that Armando's been the best post defender in the ACC this season. And for that reason, the fact he also averages a double-double, was the only ACC player to do so.
The only way you can have an all-ACC team is if you can have 8 guys. Because there's 8 guys that should be on the team.
But we have 4 that I think we all agree on. Is Elliot Cadeau attacks the basket, going off the bounce, the hoop, the harm, and the opportunity for the and one, WD.
Yep. Terrific move by Cadeau for his second field goal. Look at this drive. What do you got here, Jim? That's just good move, huh?
Yeah. The kid's really plays like a veteran player. He knows how to play the game of basketball. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, if any. And, you know, there's certain things he can't do yet, but he does not make mistakes, and he gets the ball to people. That's what he does.
He's had 5 double-figure games against the conference. He had 19 in Miami, Corey.
And had 17 against NC State on Saturday. He was the second leading scorer. Was Harrison Ingram and Elliot Cadeau that provided the offense.
Yeah, 4th in the ACC against the conference, by the way, in assist-to-turnover ratio, and that's a travel by Jai. And Notre Dame, another turnover here.
Defense is just too good.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why the defense of North Carolina is so good is because everyone, of course, in today's game runs pick and roll action.
Right.
When you've got a center that can not only switch and guard guards, but also can hedge or play drop coverage, the versatility of Armando Bacot defensively makes North Carolina so good, especially when you've got really good perimeter defenders like Elliot Cadeau, Seth Trimble, and Cormac Ryan.
Tar Heels on an 8-0 run to start the second half. Uh-oh.
There we go. There we go.
I can shoot. Who said I can't shoot?
On senior night, he has the green light. Third 3 of the year for Bacot in his 9th attempt. Booth can't answer. The lead is 27.
Got to. That's a good look. I like that transition 3 simply because momentum's on your side and you've got a great shooter walking into a good look. And when you miss it, it doesn't hurt you at all because you can get back and set your defense.
Burton trying to use the zona screen. The weave through by the freshman. And Booth lost it. Turned over by the Irish. That's going to be 11 now on Notre Dame. Or 9, beg your pardon, on Notre Dame. Carolina's got 5 in the game. You see, here's Trimble into the lineup, and Micah Shrewsbury, arms folded. Now, there have been nights like this in his first season for the Irish. However, the bigger picture is still in play here for his young basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job. The team's done a great job. They got 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores out there against a veteran team. They're not going to compete against them unless they play at a crazy level. And they just didn't. North Carolina's not going to let you play at that level because of their defense.
Withers. Back to Davis, 12 to shoot. Zona trying to help. Here's RJ all the way through. Bounces for Trimble. 5 on the clock. Trimble backing down against Burton. Fall away baseline.
North Carolina's done this to a lot of people in this building.
The lead is 29. And a foul on Trimble will get us to a break. I'm going to let Corey Alexander, since he had so many fall-away jumpers at Virginia, take us to break.
I did shoot the fall away, but not like this. Seth Trimble going over the right shoulder, falling down, knocking down the 3 ball. But WD, I take more pride in this. My young fella knocking down the 3 ball. I'm so excited.
When you're great, your game does the talking. In the ACC, ours speaks volumes.
But defensively, Corey, They're 4th in scoring defense, 1st in field goal defense, 1st in three-point field goal defense in ACC play.
They are the best defensive team in the ACC throughout this season, but the reason is because look at how many different guys we're showing defensive highlights of. All of their starters were involved in those plays, Coach. Hubert Davis has his group on a string defensively. That's why they've been great this year.
That's their whole key from the beginning. The first time we were here a long time ago, their defense was good. It's still good. And maybe even getting better. And it's because they can all switch in the 1 through 4 spots, and they just keep guys in front of them, and they've still got Bacot back there if they need help.
Washington trailing for 3. 8 for Jalen Washington on his second triple. The lead is 32, and Notre Dame hasn't scored here in the second half.
And that's a dimension that Hubert Davis really hasn't used much of this year, with playing Jalen Washington and Armando Bacot together. But when you see Washington's ability to shoot the basketball, that may be something that helps this North Carolina team as they move forward in the postseason.
Burton fouled on the drive. Carolina and Hubert Davis are having an offensive clinic. 16 points, 6 of 8 from the floor. And what's the opposite of an offensive clinic?
0 for 8.
There you go. That is exactly what Micah Shrewsbury's had to deal with here in this second half. And the offense has been a struggle for Notre Dame all season long. But they have picked up some momentum as of late as these young players have grown more comfortable.
Yeah, and this goes back. This isn't really Notre Dame's fault. It's North Carolina's defense. You know, it's just one of those things. They're just too difficult to go against.
If you're Micah Shrewsbury, you got to process that tonight, though. You're playing one of the best teams in the country, right?
Yeah, but when you're going through it, you're not processing. You're anguishing over there, thinking, is there anything we can do just to get something going here so that this just doesn't keep running away from us? I don't know if there is.
Washington's got double figures tonight for the first time since he had 11 points at against Syracuse. He also had 13 minutes against Clemson earlier this year. He's playing a lot tonight. And there's the first field goal of the second half for J.R. Konechny. Lead is 30 with 6 minutes gone here in the second half.
And they really haven't had to use much offense from R.J. Davis. However, he's going to find a way to get involved into the mix. Unable to get the mid-range jumper to go down.
He won't have to get 42 tonight.
Nah, doesn't need it. He got the pink shoes on.
Well, I understand.
So they tell me.
Came prepared.
Yes, he did.
In case the gamers were needed. There's a spin and move. Boy, Burton almost finished that. Washington clears. Now R.J. Davis got it to Trimble on the wire. Look at the move, Withers. And last touch by the Irish, says A.J. Desai. That'll bring Ingram back for Carolina. Booth in for Notre Dame with about 7 minutes gone here in the second half.
But look at the lineup. Now you have the opportunity to go to Ingram as your small forward. So you've got Washington, Withers, and Ingram on your interior. That is a big front line when you got guys like Seth Trimble and R.J. Davis in the backcourt.
And it's a front line they're going to need as they move on into the tournament season.
Yes. How important is that, Coach, to be able to have all those different lineups and their versatility, especially when you get to the NCAA tournament and see teams that you've never seen before?
And with Bacot going to get involved, something's going to happen. Washington has to be there for them in tournament time.
Long rebound, handled Shrewsbury from the Davis miss. Braden will pull up and hit.
And that's really been what Notre Dame's been missing. Braden Shrewsbury averages close to 14 points per game on the road. He's the guy that they normally depend on for a lot of their scoring, and he hasn't been able to get going here this evening.
He can't get a shot. He can't get a shot. It's not that he's missing. He just can't get a shot.
Withers. First points for Jalen Withers.
No, Shrewsbury came into Syracuse and made 6 threes, 4 in a row in the second half, and not easy threes either.
But this wasn't easy from Jalen Withers and WD, where we talked about in the park as he put that spin on it. That's that spin on it right there. You can call it English, you call it whatever you want, but it's a good bucket for Jalen Withers.
Withers at the line is an 81% free throw shooter. Carolina tonight at the stripe 6 of 10 after the make there. His dad, by the way, terrific player, was 3 times All-Conference USA. Curtis Withers at Charlotte for the old 49ers.
You play with Dink? Byron Dinkins?
I think he may have been in the Henry Williams, Byron Dinkins era.
Oh, yeah, that was a good
20 points for Henry Williams.
Hey, you brought it back with that one. You're talking about some of the best players that have come from the state of North Carolina.
Yep.
Well, I had a little experience with North Carolina Charlotte.
You had experience with
a
everyone.
guy named Cornbread.
Oh, wait a minute.
Nobody knew who he was when we went down to play. We beat Tennessee, Ernie and Bernie's show, and then we saw Cornbread the next game. That was over early. Real early.
What about Chad Kinch? Did he wire you up that night?
Yeah, he had about 28.
Yeah. Chad Kinch, Cornbread Maxwell.
I thought we were good. I thought we had a really good chance after beating Tennessee, and we didn't even have a chance.
Quick reminder to you, the Ally Women's Tournament from Greensboro starts tomorrow. Coverage at 12:30 with our Nothing But Net crew, 1 o'clock. Tip time at the Coliseum in Greensboro.
By the way,
it's always good when we travel with Boeheim to see the look on his face when you bring up certain schools, isn't it?
well, I mean, we talked about.
They all beat me. That's the problem.
No, you won in 75. Came in. Wes showed you the picture of Phil Ford playing against the Orange in 75.
Called out every player.
Yeah, I saw Phil in the tunnel. I said, "Hey, Coach Boeheim's looking for you." You said you haven't talked to him since 75.
Great player. We got lucky.
Jim Lee in my nightmares.
Yeah.
And there's a foul after the missed shot. That'll get us the timeout. Carolina in control. 28-point lead for Carolina. Great to be with Coach Boeheim and Corey Alexander. You know, these senior nights can get a little tricky. Walk-on start, things like that. Opponent comes out hot, things like that. You know, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was here for that. Yeah,
you were here, right?
Yes.
Well,
were you here?
I don't remember that.
You weren't here for this?
Shot by Caleb Love gave Carolina the lead. Hey, JG3, Corey.
Oh, yes. He's getting it on right now at Clemson.
Overtime. Look, there's our man. And then Love on the drive and one. 88-79 in overtime.
Yeah, I remember that now. Thank you.
Now that we brought it up.
Now, do you want me to bring up some things about YouTube? All right. Okay, we're going to go there.
Coach, I thought you did an excellent job in that game. Getting Cole Swider the basketball. 39 points for Cole Swider. He tried to ruin senior night here.
He played great. He got a contract, too.
Yes, he did.
He got a two-way. He got a two-way in the NBA from that. So.
Back in no good for Tae Davis.
You got to look at the bright spot of everything. That was the bright spot.
And from the Carolina perspective, Coach, they won that night in overtime. Nobody was giving them a chance 3 days later in Durham.
If we'd have won that game, I think it might have just turned them right out. They might not have beaten Duke. They might not have gone anywhere. Maybe.
It's funny like that, right?
You never know.
Almost scramble. Now we're going to have a foul. A.J. Desai and a pick 'em play here. It's going to stay with Carolina. The foul will be on the Irish. Is it on Burton? If so, it'll be his third.
I wasn't going to mention that Corey got his letter sweater tonight either, but now he can't help. He's been here. He's 11-0 in here this year.
It has become a bit of a talking point.
Yeah, I mean,
some of the Carolina
all
folks.
the fans over here are giving them presents before the game.
Exactly.
Bringing them water and
Is it my
food.
senior night? Can I not come back?
Yeah,
that's the concern.
You'll be back next year too. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I use my COVID years.
Missed. Ingram slapped it out,
and he. See, Ellie Cadeau doesn't understand that he can actually go get that one because it was tipped into the backcourt.
Skip for Ingram. Fresh 20 for Carolina. Here goes Trimble into traffic. And out back for Ingram with under 10. Cadeau will use Bacot. Ingram a triple. And Ryan a rebound. Look at Cormac fight. Can't finish. They scramble again. Ingram, of course.
Think about how long this possession has been defensively for the Irish.
I haven't seen Cormac Ryan do that in 4 years.
Again, he's playing against his former team. He's playing against a couple of guys that he practiced against. He's got to make sure that he knows that he left for greener pasture.
Well, Konechny, Zona, and a couple of guys toward the back of the bench. Tony Sanders would be guys he's really familiar with. There's Burton. Konechny a three, and J.R. Konechny knocks in his second field goal. He's got 7 all here in the half. It's got to be a little weird, though, for Cormac Ryan, doesn't it?
Yes, it absolutely has, because there's a lot of people that you know and you love in that organization, in the program at Notre Dame.
Right.
And Cormac Ryan had a great run for the Fighting Irish.
Yep.
But he has also established himself as a strong member of what they're doing here in North Carolina, which could be a team that we could see in the Final Four national championship.
Under 10, stolen by Cadeau. Lead for Ingram. Working on Booth. And can't finish it. Davis the rebound for the Irish.
Great job by Booth getting back defensively and, more importantly, not fouled.
Yep.
I think Cormac Ryan has no regrets about being at North Carolina.
None whatsoever.
No, and it goes back to an early season statement by Hubert Davis, as you see Tae Davis score for the Irish. It leads to the impact of the portal. And we talk about Harrison Ingram. How about Cormac Ryan in terms of fits?
Perfect fit. Both guys fit perfectly. And when they play well, North Carolina is hard to beat. Dave, RJ, and Bacot, they're going to play good. They're going to be there. Cadeau's a solid player. It's those two guys that make this team very hard to beat.
Hey, Coach, one of the things you mentioned earlier, we start talking about the bench production. We didn't bring up the fact that when North Carolina was losing 3 out of the 6 games in the middle of the ACC play, Sam Trimble was injured.
Yeah.
And they did not get that bench production that they would normally get. It's not only from the offensive end, but defensively, he is really their best on-ball defender. And him missing throughout those games was a big loss for the Tar Heels.
Well, you look at some of their losses. I mean, look, Syracuse has struggled a little bit at times. They're a good basketball team. They shot 63% to beat North Carolina by 3 points.
Yeah.
And they're the best defensive team in the league. That's the kind of game, you know, that happens to you. That doesn't mean there's something you did wrong.
Tar Heels bring R.J. Davis and Paxton Wojcik back to the floor to join Bacot, Harrison Ingram. Here's Jalen Washington for Armando Bacot. I will note Tae Davis is another guy now, the sophomore transfer from Seton Hall, Corey. He's now 8 double-figure games against the ACC, including his last 4.
He has been the guy that's been a difference maker. We talked about the production of Burton.
Yep.
But Tae Davis has been the difference maker for Notre Dame down the stretch because he gives them a consistent interior threat. Not always back to the basket, shooting the 3 as well, but he gives them that force in the paint.
10 to shoot for Knesny, and here's Kerry Booth, a 3. And they'll call Washington for the foul. Jalen Washington's got 10 tonight. That's his second. 8 on Carolina, so free throws coming up for Keba Jai, who will go to the stripe here for a 1-and-1.
Oh, the fans in the stands don't like that one. The referees.
But they do love the fact that, well, this is a 1-and-1. So it won't matter. But on a 2-shot foul, Coach, shooting into that end.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite thing.
Crumble cookies.
Come into play.
Yeah.
You usually get those, don't you? Somebody brings those to North Carolina.
I find a way to get cookies normally while I'm here.
I've noticed that Corey gets the cookies, Coach, but also to that line, he and Dave O'Brien, I think, got like pregame ballet service on the cookies.
Well, you know, I share. I'm not a selfish.
Well, it's because Dave's a Syracuse guy, so he's taking care of, you know, the Virginia guy. That's all there is to it.
The one thing you know, Dave O'Brien is not bringing me cookies. I'm the one bringing the cookies and sharing them. Obi enjoys the cookies.
Yeah. Ingram, here's Ryan. Lead is cut back to 20 now. On the 3 by Booth a moment ago. Now here's Cormac attacking all the way to the basket. Couldn't finish on the scoop, and it will belong to Notre Dame. But we're going to get a timeout. Lead is as big as 32 in this second half. When we come back, well, you're going to hear a lot about all ACC next week. And Coach and Corey and I, grassroots, we all submitted, and we have a consensus top 4. R.J. Davis, we all believe he'll be the player of the year. Tigers' P.J. Hall. And the other 2 guys should be no surprise. Hunter Salas of Wake Forest, and Corey, likely defensive player of the year, Reese Beekman of Virginia. So we're set on those 4. The difference starts when it comes to the 5th guy.
So I'll go first since my guy is on camera.
Again.
For me, it will be Armando Bacot. Not only because he's the only guy in the ACC averaging a double-double, 14 points and over 10.5 rebounds, but also because of what he does defensively for the best defensive team in the ACC. That is why I believe he will be a first-team All-ACC.
I think he'll get voted in because he's a senior and you need a big guy. But I think Judah Mintz is second in the league in scoring, second in assists, second in steals, right in that area.
Number one in free throw attempts.
He just has had a great year. I really think you have to have 8 guys because I think your guy, my guy, and you know, Wes even picked a guy. So
Even Wes.
even Wes picked a guy. And you know, you got to have Henson and you got to have Wes's guy.
I like, look, Kyle Filipowski was the preseason player of the year. Duke is going to finish either tied for first or second in this league.
Yeah,
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I agree.
But I can say this. I cannot say that throughout the entire season that Kyle Filipowski has been the best player for the Duke Blue Devils. I think Jared McCain has been their most consistent guy. Jeremy Roach has stepped up and made big plays and big shots for them. Mark Mitchell has been dominant down the stretch. And they're at their best when Tyrese Proctor's playing well. So they have so many different guys that, and again, if they finish 1 or 2 in the ACC, you know, you would expect for there to be a Duke guy on the list.
Yeah.
But I think it's been a team effort for the Blue Devils.
I think also you've got 15 teams in the league now. We used to have 9 teams and pick 5 guys. Now you got 15. It's hard to pick 5 guys.
Bacot fouled on the way up. That was Davis, I think. Kevin Jive, by the way, went to the bench a moment ago on his 4th. RJ Davis, who, by the way, has 5 or more assists for the 6th time in his last 9, with trying to tee up Bacot here.
But RJ averaging 21.7 points per game, but also over 100 assists. And those are nice numbers because, again, as Coach mentioned, he has been off the ball more so this season than he was a year ago, with Elliot Cadeau coming in and really taking over more of the primary ball handling responsibilities. But RJ has still been a playmaker. When he's not scoring, he's dishing.
He's also the leader of this team. Unquestioned leader. He's vocal. They respect him. 2 new guys at the forward spots. Cadeau is new.
Right.
It's been his team, and he's led this team. And I think he has to get a lot of credit for it.
The lead is back to 24. Notre Dame had it down to 20. Carolina went through a blitz to start the second half, and the Irish have been fighting back ever since and have not been able to really get in the ballpark here in the second half. Tar Heels trying to win for the 6th time in their last 7. It would be their 5th straight. Look at Davis. Fouled and hit. It's a 3, and RJ's got a chance for the rare 4-point play.
But just look at the celebration. RJ makes the shot. And of course, that's absolutely important. But more important, look at his teammates come over. They all have the same celebration. This is a team that is connected. He and Harrison Ingram celebrate together. Cormac Ryan gets involved. Zayden High on the bench, the same celebration. This team is connected, which is one of the reasons why they've been one of the best.
They get great ball movement. They help each other. They screen for each other. Dribble handoffs. Bacot sets the screen, gets them open. They're doing all that all year.
10th double-double of the year for Harrison Ingram on the stick back. And just like that, Marcus Burton's jumper rattles out. And with 5.5 to go, the Tar Heels looking at win number 24. It would be their 16th in the league, and Bacot fouled as he went up on the shot. So a couple of free throws coming on the Notre Dame foul, and it's on Tae Davis. It'll be his 3rd. Don't forget, the Nothing But Net crew starts our coverage tomorrow from Greensboro at the Ally ACC Women's Tournament. First round all day and night, pre- and post-game shows, highlights, analysis, interviews. Coverage you can only find one place. It's on ACC Network and always available on the ESPN app. Looking forward to watching the event unfold at the Coliseum in Greensboro. Kenny Brooks in Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my travel schedule if I can pull up on Sunday. You know, I was in the building last year.
I know you were.
I was on the floor celebrating.
Yeah, nice.
Hope Elizabeth Kitley ACC Player of the Year is okay.
Yeah.
Injured in the and congrats to Mahoos.
Oh, yeah.
Virginia getting the win over Virginia Tech as RJ knocks down the 3-ball.
My goodness. 8th game this year with 20 or more points and 5 or more assists.
And another 13-0 run after Notre Dame was able to get it to 20.
Yep.
Carolina pushes the lead back to 33.
Himes had it stripped out by Davis. Under 5 to play and 10 to shoot for the Irish. And they'll go to the deck ball. Carolina will get it on possession. RJ Davis, Corey, he's got 22.
Well, he broke the record this year, beating out Justin Jackson for games with multiple three-point field goals. And this time, he is enjoying it as that's like a Zen 3 from Jalen Withers on the sideline. Very calm, cool, and collected.
I got to tell you, you watch him play, and the full package offensively is really impressive by RJ Davis. And there's Bacot on a drive. Largest lead of the night again now for Carolina at 35. Zona. 3 will bounce off. Davis the rebound.
Well, I can tell you right now, WD, RJ Davis, Armando Bacot, they better get their best looks here because I believe his night's about to be over for those guys. Hubert Davis going to give them an opportunity to get their standing ovation.
Yep.
Yeah, they got a game Saturday, too.
Yes.
Sure do. Ingram
big
ready.
game.
And finally controlled by Terry Booth. Jim, is a coach, when you know you're seeing a player on the floor for the final time, what's that feeling like? Fans have theirs. What does a coach feel?
You know, you're happy you had him, and you know you hope he goes on and has a chance to do something in basketball. But you're just happy you had that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, and R.J. Davis, you know, Armando Bacot, those guys, they're cornerstones of your program. And you know, I had Derek Coleman and, you know, guys like Pearl, you know, so many guys. And when they leave, it's
Well, our star stories tonight are players that are crushing it, and it's brought to you by Crush. And we're going to start with a guy who we think will be the ACC Player of the Year, and that's R.J. Davis, Corey, with 22 tonight.
Going to be interesting to see if he's unanimous. However, Cormac Ryan showed up big time, 14 points for him, as well as Harrison Ingram. But Jalen Washington, Armando Bacot, they've got 5 guys in double figures right now.
Yep. And Bacot teeing up another one.
Let him go, baby. Get him out, coach. Stand up base and get him out.
There it is. Timeout on the floor will get us to a timeout.
let me shoot it.
Armando Bacot just knocked down his second 3 of the night to make it 84-46. Just like you taught him, CA.
The most passion, the most interest.
Corey Alexander basketball school, baby. 7th grade, this is my guy. He came into the gym, and we worked on shooting. And Roy Williams, who recruited him and brought him to the University of North Carolina, loves seeing Armando knock down a couple threes in this game.
Now Saturday, he's going to open up at Duke with one, and it's going to be an air ball, and that'll be the end of the three-point shooting.
Free throw by Logan Himes is good.
But here we go. This is what we've been here for.
Okonkwo replaces Armando Bacot. Ain't nothing like this, is there, Jim? When they leave the floor for the last time, it's you and the player and the relationship and everything, right?
Yeah, it's just great when you have a great game on senior night and everybody's happy and everybody goes home happy. There's nothing better than that.
Ryan's got the free throws. Okonkwo is the young man from Maidenhead in Berkshire, England. And he plays tonight for just the 12th time this season. Rob Landry is a legacy, by the way. His dad, Pierce, played for Coach Smith in the late 90s. And so is Creighton Lebo. And out of bounds with 6 on the shot clock. The hustle will keep it with the Tar Heels.
And before we leave here, I'm just going to say happy birthday to Julie Behan, who takes care of me and gets me to all these places.
The boss.
And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be anywhere. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Julie.
Happy birthday to my favorite Behan.
Everybody's favorite.
Happy birthday, Julie. Appreciate you letting Coach hang out with us tonight in Chapel Hill.
WD, you know, the first time I actually talked with Julie Behan was in this building. The game we talked about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Senior night for North Carolina. I go over before the game and I see Julie and I get a chance to say hello to her, go give her a hug, and she says, I thank you for being so good to Buddy.
That's right.
And again, once again, Julie's at the top, but of course Buddy's my guy. That's my favorite Behan.
He's right there.
The two of them are tied for top, but I have been a Julie Behan fan ever since our first encounter there.
Buddy made a game winner the other night.
Yep.
Deep 3.
Booth tried to bank one home. Okonkwo scrambles inside. Zona might have gotten away with the ball.
Might have?
Might have gotten away. Well, and here's the moment when you get this, it's different. That's why we asked Coach so much tonight about this. This is a special moment. And tonight with Hubert Davis and Armando Bacot, Corey, it speaks to the value of that relationship.
You go back 6 years ago when Hubert Davis was going to IMG to recruit Armando Bacot as the assistant coach. Those guys have been together for a very long time, and also R.J. Davis, as Hubert now looks on as there is a chance for cookies here in the building. The only thing that makes this senior night any better is if everybody gets cookies.
Zona missed the first. For the cookies. Yep.
Everything's going right.
And the happiest guy in the building, is the other Hall of Famer in here tonight.
Would that be Roy?
Oh, Roy.
Oh, Roy?
Roy. He's happy.
Yeah, want some cookies on the way home. And there's Coach Williams.
And when you think about it, Roy Williams was the head coach when Armando Bacot came here, R.J. Davis came here.
That's right.
So that is pride on his face to see how this program has gone with those guys in charge. But also, he is proud of Hubert Davis, who he brought in as an assistant coach 12 years ago. And to see the success that he's having as the head coach at the University of Virginia, it's a happy day for everyone here in Carolina Blue.
Well, I think we need to talk about Hubert Davis. He's done an incredible job here, finishing last year, losing guys, coming back this year, plugging in new pieces, freshman point guard, 2 new forwards, you know, who haven't had a lot of success where they played with Cormac and Ingram. And turning all this thing around is, you know, I mean, there's a lot of guys that have done great coaching jobs this year. Red Autry has done an unbelievable job, I think. But you can't discount what Hubert's done here.
J.T. Kelly, by the way, knocks down a 3. Don't forget Georgia Tech and Wake Forest from Winston-Salem and East Shroff. Tom Crean standing by. Got a minute to go here in Chapel Hill. And Rob Landry, who's got a couple of field goals already this year. By the way, J.T. Kelly at a Ponte Vedra Beach knocked it down. Here's Raheem Brayton. He missed the 3.
Oh, they're coming for me. I'm moving.
Coach, I saw you moving.
I'm moving.
Boeheim was in the line of fire there a moment ago.
I'm not taking any charges.
And Okonkwo slapped that away. And with 44 seconds left, Creighton Lebo a little hezzy and a one-hand scoop. And out of bounds, it'll belong to Notre Dame. Okonkwo, Corey, is a pretty good prospect here.
This is a young man that will get a lot of time when Armando Bacot finally decides to leave Franklin Street.
Yeah,
28 seconds left. Notre Dame, by the way, will be in Blacksburg on Saturday to meet Virginia Tech. And, of course, Duke, Carolina is Saturday night, 6:30 on ESPN.
That's not the way you want to finish your season. At Carolina, at Virginia Tech. That's not fun.
Hubert Davis and Carolina win for the 14th time at home. They have clinched at least a tie for the regular season championship in the ACC. And for the 14th time in this 39-year history of this building, Carolina has now won 14 or more games in a season.